and she had some harsh feeling with me, but I couldn't go. No, this is 300 kilometers far away from this place. And suddenly I just remember what are the good qualities of her, and how much she spent, how much she cried for me, that and all I remember. So suddenly that harsh words vanished away from my thought. So somehow I managed that. Today is that incident happened.
Very good. And the most difficult task is maintaining the relationship.
Yes.
And that requires the maximum level of emotional intelligence. That how you maintain your relationship. We are dependent on the relationship with the family, with the spouse, with the children, with the boss, with the colleagues, with the schools, with the people around, with the shopkeepers. There was a time when I used to fight with everyone, even with the shopkeepers,
Yes.
even with the tailors. Suppose if I go, he said, nahi banaji kapda. Oh, now I am furious. How it is possible? You have given me the time of 12 October and today is 14th October. I came 2 days late expecting you to keep ready. And then I will start saying blah, blah, blah. Then my younger sister will hold my hand and say, calm down, calm down. We cannot expect 100% dedication and sincerity from them because they belong to that level. So for them, giving date has no meaning. They will do as per their own convenience whenever they find time. So lovely, Revati ji, you have shared beautiful example. Anyone else?
It's me, Sadia ma'am.
Yes, Bibi Hajra.
Yeah, a couple of days ago, I had to visit the school since I had a little qualms with the teachers, then with the new teachers. Okay, I was all furious. I was like, no, I'm going to school tomorrow, and मैं जमीन फाड़ने वाली हूँ जाके कि what kind of teachers have you allotted to my daughter? Because earlier the teachers were I tell you, they were flawless. They were flawless from grade 1 to 3. Now in grade 4, I did not find them that warm and cordial. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
They weren't warm in the first place because, you know, a teacher is supposed to take the student in confidence, first of all. And introduction is the main agenda of any meeting, you know. There was no such things. And I was like, no, I waited for 2 weeks because I am not a person who is quick to judge. I give time for anything and everything and to everyone. So after 2 weeks, I'm like, still there is no introduction session, and your teachers are being so, you know, I cannot say unkind. They were being very strict with the 9 year, not just with my daughter, with the entire class. They have started to treat them like. Uh, Teenagers all of a sudden from grade 3 to grade 4. So I was like, no, I'm going to school tomorrow. I'm going to talk to Mohsin sir. This is not the way it happens. And this is not, it should be, because my son is going to come from behind, you know. I don't want the same thing to happen with my son. And I don't want to happen till my son faces the same issue. So I went to school, and the moment I entered his room, I wished him. He too replied saying Walaikum Assalam. We exchanged our greetings with Ramadan Mubarak. And the moment he said, like, first sit, first please sit. So that was the time I was like, where is all the fist of fury, where is it all gone? I like had it in my mind. I came with so much of josh. I thought I'm not gonna sit. I'm not gonna take any of the words. I'm just gonna start immediately the moment I walk into the room. And then I recollected what all the school had given me in the past, you know. They had given the Islamic knowledge, or whatever the worldly knowledge my children have got till now. It's because of the school. And the school has given teachers like that in the past. So I was like, no, I came for some reason, and I'm not going to talk about that. Maybe superficially, I'll tell them, because I paid for the taxi. I don't want it to go waste. So I was like, I will definitely tell them in a way it should be portrayed, not I'm not gonna burst or I'm not gonna blast about any teacher. So I recollected what all the good things my children have achieved in the past, and then it completely changed my mind. And the supervisors and the principal, they were both happy, and they said, "Ma'am, you have told us the negative points, but you put it in a way it should be. So no hard feelings." And also thank you for coming up with a concern, because only if the parents come up, the management would know. Otherwise, you sit back and rant with other parents, the management will not at all know, ma'am. So that is how, I got over it. Thank you.
Yesterday,
Example, and but this example is of I think the principal's emotional intelligence. Okay, not more credit goes to the principal who has used his intelligence and who has made
Yes,
an
ma'am.
effort
Yeah,
by
yeah.
asking you, by offering you to sit down in his cabin. He has used his intelligence, and then of course the rest is in front of everyone. Okay, so now last sharing we are going to have, because again we will be
Veena,
having
ma'am.
Veena ma'am. Yes,
I-
Veena ma'am.
just yesterday I had it, ma'am. Like we were supposed to, transfer few amounts to one of my friend who was suffering from brain tumor. So we had collected few amounts yesterday, and I was supposed to, transfer. So the only name, I told one of my friends' name, and she had a car. So like, okay, ma'am told, okay, you can take her and you can go to the bank and you can transfer the amount. So on the way there was lot of traffic. After transferring the money, again there was lot of traffic. Afternoon, after handling the class and the horrible day in the school, the teachers are exhausted. She started grumbling, oh my god, this is too much. How am I going to reach, today I'm going to reach late, this that and all. She was grumbling, even though I agreed to take me to the bank and all. But I immediately told, hey, listen, whenever somebody asks me, whom are you going to go with, or whom do you want to take with, always your name comes in front of me, because you are the person who just blankly say yes to everything, and you are very positive to everything. So that moment she just, she said, Veena, just tell me where. She was supposed to drop me on the way. She told Veena, just show me your just a proper house. I will just drop you over there. She just melted in just a second. She just melted away. That was yesterday's experience for me, ma'am.
Yes, wonderful example. So these are some of the example how we use the emotional intelligence in our day-to-day life to make our things easier. It is going to be easier with us if we are using those intelligences. Okay, now coming to last few slides of my presentation. So this sharing of experience is already done. Now I am going to show you that there was a survey. In the survey, it was found that the new appointees were not able to perform well. And then it was reason was found out. And the reason was like, these are the reasons. Can you tell us that what proportion each one of them have in being the effective factor for the failure? Technical competence, temperament, motivation, emotional intelligence, and coachability. So out of these factors, which factor do you think is playing the major role? And then after that, which factor? Then after that, which factor? These are the factors. Because of these factors, the new employees were not able to perform satisfactorily.
I think motivation is the first one, because they are not given the encouragement for the job what they are decided to do, I feel. And then yes, of course, coachability. Yes, the proper guidance has to be there for them along with the motivation, I feel.
Yes. Any other opinion?
Ma'am, coachability, emotional intelligence, motivation. That's second, third.
Okay. So now let's see. The top three factors were coachability was 26%. If you don't have the skills, but at least you should be coachable. The people can coach you. But if you don't have coachability also in you, you are not ready to learn the things, you are not ready to be coached, then naturally nobody is going to help you out. Then you have to be a failure. So this coachability was first. Then emotional intelligence was 23%, second highest. And while motivation was 17%. And all these three, these top three factors these three factors don't have any skills in them, any competency in them. Because competence and skills are at the lower level. If we look at the second slide, you see this coachability is the first one, emotional intelligence is on the second one, and then motivation is the third one, temperament is the fourth one, and technical competence, for which we are struggling day and night. We are struggling day and night just to have the skills in us. That is at the bottom level, 11%. Temperament, 15%. Motivation, 17%. Emotional intelligence, 23%, major role. And then coachable is 26%. Isn't it surprising to know? Of course it is surprising. Now, how we can make our school environment where everybody feels satisfactory and the school is flourishing school. So first of all, everybody should understand that there are emotions and emotions exist. And not only emotions are for the children, but emotions are for the teachers, for the helpers, for the supporters, for the staff members, for the management, for everyone. And everybody is feeling that. So it's better that we should know how to handle the stresses. We should accept it. And then secondly, where we have to foster a culture where it should not be the traditional learning or instructions, but where everybody is supporting each other socially and emotionally. Earlier I know that it was banned in the staff room to sit two teachers together. Can you imagine? Like how insensitive the people can be if making this rule that two teachers will not sit together in the staff room, thinking that they will be gossiping, they will be talking, they will be chatting, they will be criticizing the school, they will be speaking against the management. So this is totally against the emotional intelligence. If you really want to make the school a flourishing school, then we have to consider the social and emotional needs of the teacher. Lots of things we can solve because of our teachers, colleagues. If you speak to your friends, you will find the solutions immediately. And the principal or the management or the heads, they don't need not to bother about that. They themselves will find the solutions. So these type of rules of making, don't gather together, don't form friendships, don't have a group, don't do this, don't do that. It is all against the emotional intelligence. Then after that, reflection is very important. Even the smallest action we do in the school or the workplace or anywhere, immediately we have to reflect upon that. How was it? How the people feel about this? Whether it went well, it was to make the people happy and satisfactory, it was just for the sake of doing. This reflection is very important. And then the school challenges are not the only challenges for the heads. The school challenges are for everyone. It should be discussed in public and let everybody give their opinions. And visiting the community from where we are getting the children, that is very important. How the community is feeling about our school, what are their opinions. I have seen some of the principals, they think that they are the god, and even the owners, they think that they are the super god. कोई फिक्र ही नहीं है, कोई चिंता ही नहीं, कोई कुछ भी बोले बला से मेरी. There is a school right now, I know the example, one of my friend is working over there and she is in a pathetic condition. There were COVID cases and 11 teachers were positive. And still he is asking all the teachers to come to the school. Although the children are not there because of lockdown, classes are online. But since he is a God, he is asking the people to come and sit in the school till 4 o'clock. For what reason? What is the purpose? God knows. Only to satisfy his own ego. So that we have to visit the community to get their feedback. And then meditation, yoga classes, exercises, these all have to be the part and parcel of the school curriculum for everyone, for the students, for the teachers, for the management, for the non-teaching staff, for everyone. And then after that, we have to encourage everybody to take the breaks. That's why short meals. When I was in DPS, I inserted 2 breaks in between, 2 meal breaks. One was for the fruits, and the other was for the real breakfast like chapati or puri bhaji or whatever you are bringing, or idli dosa. You know, when in between you are eating something with a break of like 2 hours, then your mind is more sharp and your mind works faster. So that's why, that is the reason we should always take 45 after 45 to 60 minutes, just 5 minutes break. In that you can have the deep breathing. In that you can have, if you are happy with the chatting with the friends or cracking some jokes, do something, but some break should be there after each 45 to 60 minutes. You know, emotional intelligence requires time and space. You know, if we find that, okay, these problems are in us and how to handle it, how to tackle it. So it cannot be overnight that one day I sleep and the next morning I'm a very polite person, I'm a very calm person, I'm a very wise person. It's not possible. It requires time, and for that we have to spend the time, and we have to do the trainings for that. We have to take the exercises for that. And out of that, what all is required? Detection of unhealthy stressors, our self-awareness about our weaknesses, about our strength. And then we have to have the strategies to manage our stress. You know, mild stress is okay. Moderate level of stress is okay. Like suppose whenever I have any my live shows or my live programs or anything, so I have little amount of stress, but I know that that is important, that is necessary to make me perform, to keep me at certain level, so that I should not take the things very lightly and very leisurely, and I'm doing the things very lethargically. That's why this moderate level of stress is okay. But if it is unhealthy and it is becoming more and more, like, you know, what I don't like in my life is, and that is giving me more stress, when the things are out of my control, and then I'm finding helpless to handle it. Like suppose maids are not coming, you know, so bringing the maid in my house is not in my control. And early morning they will call and say, Baji aaj nahi aayega. Koi bolega, Didi aaj tabiyat kharab hai. So now that is going to give us a stress. Now what I have thought for this is that I have made up my mind that for all the works of the household, I'm going to keep the things updated. Like no utensils kept in the sink. Now there is no dirty clothes. Everything is perfectly done. If maid says that, okay, she is not going to come, then mentally I am ready that a small task, whatever is pending, that I can manage myself. That is the only reason. So now early morning, I even don't pick the phone when I see, okay, this Parveena is calling, this Anjum is calling, this that is calling. I understood. Their call must be for that reason. And unnecessarily, if I pick the phone and then they will inform that they are not coming, my mood will be off. And then I will take unnecessary stress. So I don't pick the phone at all. I understood that they are not going to come. Now, soldier, be ready to fight alone. So that way we have to develop our stress busters. So this is a KG exercise, but since most of the teachers are from KG section, so I think it is going to be good enough if I am going to share with you. So sometimes I feel happy, but I must say all the time I feel happy. Most of the time I feel happy. So I feel happy when? Give an example quickly. When? I felt this way when? Quickly, 30 seconds.
When I got an ice cream.
Wow, lovely. I,
And I do some exercise.
I
When
was
when I wake up in the morning every day, I used to be happy. I feel
wow, who
happy.
is this great man or
Yes.
woman? Who is this greatness?
Revati ma'am. Yes,
Revati
ma'am.
ma'am, greatness. I was thinking I must feel it when I get a gift. Really,
Yes.
when somebody sends me any gift, whether it is a small thing, but I'm very happy with that. Sometimes I feel silly. I felt this way
When I'm with my kids.
when
And I'm spending a lot of time with my kids, with my own kids actually, because due to the lack of time, I'm not giving too much time to them because they're also busy. So whenever I'm getting a time to spend with them, so I'm making so many silly things. I'm doing a lot of silly activities with them. I'm just feeling that I am a child. So
yes.
I'm feeling very happy on that time.
Sometimes I feel angry, and I felt this way
When the on-site and online both together came,
Both
ma'am, I was
together are
feeling
Yes,
very
happening at
ma'am.
a
angry.
time.
The same thing.
A very big challenge.
Yeah.
Unable to manage when both online and on-site. We feel angry.
okay.
But Alhamdulillah, now it's going smoothly.
Sometimes I feel surprised, and I felt this way
when my husband says I'll cook for you today.
wow, it happens at times, Samina.
Yes, yes, most often.
Oh, very good.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Sometimes I feel sad, and I felt this way
When my
Friend
husband
has
is
fallen sick.
When I don't get appreciation for everything what I do, you know.
Same here,
Exactly.
same here.
Same.
exactly.
that's
We
really
also
great.
need appreciations as well.
Now, to wind up the whole session, I just give you 4 P's, and please keep these 4 P's very dear to you and very near to your heart. First is pay attention towards each and every emotion. At times we are feeling something, some emotions are in us, but we just ignore and we don't acknowledge that we have to stop it. Then pause. If any emotional outburst is there, if anything happening that is not pleasant, unwanted, we have to take a pause. We have to just reflect upon that, think about this instead of reacting upon that, and then practice the things that is going to make your emotions stable. That is very important, stability in the emotions. And the last is physiological intervention. At times we require this. That's why, there is a hadith also that if you are angry, please have a glass of water, or otherwise change your position. If you are standing, sit down. If you are sitting, stand up. You just move from your place. So that is physiological intervention, that you just leave the place, go somewhere else or do something else. Okay, go and start listening your music. And recently I heard somewhere, and that has worked with me very well, that you have your favorite perfume with you always, in your purse, in your bag, or anywhere wherever you study, and in between you just smell it. And that really works. You try it. I have tried. When there was lots of news of corona and this thing and that thing and those things, then I used to keep with me, and after each hour I used to smell. It is serving two purposes. One, it is reducing the stress, and second, it is giving me the signal that yes, corona is away from me. I can still smell it.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
that
This is called flower therapy, ma'am. As I did the naturopathy, there
yes,
is some kind of treatment therapy is a flower therapy. So different kind of smell will change our emotions, will change our mood. It is there.
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are right. For the common people, your favorite perfume is enough, either attar or perfume or whatever you use, keep with you and then keep smelling. So these 4 P's we have to keep with us. And then,
Even ma'am, I will try, ma'am. I'll just start keeping in my bag now. We'll
yes,
see.
yes, yes, sure.
No,
And
actually, I have axe, ma'am. I used to put always in the class axe only.
okay. I use oud. Oud is my favorite. Now, the second last point is that give the voice. The biggest mistake we do in our life, that we don't give the voice. And if you don't get the voice, then how helpless you feel. I can narrate you one story that when I was just after my marriage, after 9 months, I became mother of a son. And then my mother, the real mother, biological mother, she was seriously ill. and she came to Delhi, to my place, to get treatment from AIMS. AIMS is the most famous, you all know the hospital. Everybody in the last stage has to go to AIMS when everybody said that, okay, she's not curable. Then what happened that time, my father-in-law used to live in Saudi Arabia. He came for a vacation and he said that he wants to do Aqiqah for my son. You know, Aqiqah is the most important ritual among Muslims after the birth of the child. So I was supposed to go. And then my ticket was booked. I went to my Sasral with my son, a small son, while my mother in the critical condition was in my house. And then along with my mother, my nanny, my puppi, my sisters, everybody was there in the house. We went only for 4 days since everybody said that my father-in-law has come back from Saudi and then he will go back. So it's important you go. When I go there, when I came back, when I climbed up the stairs, I was on the 3rd floor. When I entered, I saw in the drawing room my puppi and nani both were sitting. The first thought came into my mind, both of them are still here, because my husband used to say that so many people should not be in the house. You know, the Delhi houses have their own limitations. And I'm talking about so many years ago, 30 years ago. That time my house was very small. Now, to Alhamdulillah, I have big houses, so there is no problem. But that time his house was very small. My husband has a new job. He has just started his career. Everything was like very limited. So he told me that there should not be so many people in the house. 1 or 2 people are enough to take care of the mom. When I entered in the drawing room, the first thought came into my mind, oh my God, they are still here in the house. Then naturally my husband is going to scold me for this. I didn't recollect that where is my mom. I didn't even thought of mother, that where is mother. When I enter in my bedroom inside, then I found the bedroom was empty, no one. Then I came back again in the drawing room and I looked at both of them, my puppi and my nani. Both of them came closer to me and I started crying. And then I understood, okay, that it means my mom has gone. So that moment I realized that was a time when I was not working. I was a simply housewife. I told you that I was married at the age of 18, and then at the age of 19, I was the mother of a son. And then I thought, now I am thinking that if the situation was now, I would have my own voice. And first of all, I would have resisted to go to the hometown while my mother is in the critical condition in my own house in Delhi. First thing. And I would have like put my foot down that no, I will not go. I will be here. At any cost, I have to be here. But that time I didn't have courage. I didn't have voice because I was a fragile lady. I was a delicate lady. I was a helpless lady. I was not lady, a girl. I was not having any resources. I was not having any strength. I was not having any courage in me. So this is very important, to give the voice even to the weakest person of the institution. You know, even the gardener, even the peon, even the helpless people, everybody should have voice, at least this much voice, that they can at least speak up. They can speak their mind. So this is very important, to give the voice to the people. Itni himmat unke andar hona, itni si ke at least they can come to you and they can say what is in their mind, what is in their heart, what do they feel. That is very, very important for a leader. And then lastly, along with the voice, we should have the ear also to listen to them. And then after listening, keep the things inside you. Okay, be a secret box. Don't reveal the things to the other people. Then the people will lose the confidence in you. So it is very important to have the ear to listen to them. Now this is a case study. Whenever you find time, you can go and you can Google and find out that there was a case study done where emotional intelligence was improved, and 72% of the program participant experienced very large increase in decision making, 60% in quality of life, and 58% show major improvement in influence. So this is a very famous case study of FedEx. There they conducted this. I will share the link in the group. You all can go through this, and then you all can find out the case study and the findings of the case study. So that's all from me. And already I have taken a few minutes from Reena's time, but I hope that Reena will not mind. And
No, absolutely fine, ma'am. It was very interesting.
yes, Reena, you can take
Lovely
10,
talk.
10 minutes more because you are not fasting. So you can afford to take 10 minutes more.
I think we should clap for Halima ma'am together. It's wonderful. I mean, I really in awe of what she has said because it has come straight from her heart and experience. So anything which comes naturally out of experience, this is going to be really great because it leaves that impact on people. And I really carried nice words from your talk. So I think everybody has learned something out of it. So
So thank
great.
you very much. Now over to Reena ma'am. And
Thank you.
after Reena ma'am's presentation, I just come for 5 minutes to show you the quizzes, how you have to do the game on the quizzes.